Ladies and gentlemen, this RedGamerTech.com video, we're going to be taking a look at the Steam Summer Sale deals on the 19th of July. It's not very difficult to guess what games you guys are going to be pumping for in this particular deals, so without further ado, let's get started. First one, Skyrim, unsurprisingly. So it's available for $10.49 in pounds or $20.99 for US dollars for the basic version, or the Legendary Edition is $35.99 or $17.99. Now, it's not very difficult to know that this game is fantastic and you should buy it. However, there are a couple of scenarios I want to go through on this video. First version, you don't own the game at all, in which case, to me, it's pointless getting the standard version of Skyrim. It's cheaper, but as it turns out, both Dragonborn and Dawnguard are fantastic, and you get those within the Legendary Edition. In my mind, Half-Fire and so on, I don't care. My personal, point of view, of course, but, there are mods that gives you that quality anyway. And also a lot of the user mods are certain user mods, by the way, which require either Dragonborn or Dawnguards, as it turns out. Next scenario. You own the base version of Skyrim, but you do not own one of the pieces of DLC. This is where it becomes a bit trickier. So, it's actually within just a few pennies, just using British pound prices, for the same to buy Dragonborn and Dawnguard as it is to actually just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to get the Legendary Edition. Now, with Legendary Edition, you don't get the problem with only having the Legendary mode, because that is on the new patch for even the standard base version, but you do have Half-Fire. Now, I'm almost positive that Dragonborn, as it turns out, is actually at a slightly higher price than when I first saw Skyrim discounted. I'm almost positive it was 40% off. But this is food for thought. If you do not want to buy this version of the game because you feel that, you've got the Legendary Edition already, or maybe you don't have any version at all, so you've got the base version, or you don't have any version at all, and you want to get it slightly cheaper, you can actually pick it up from Amazon, and the UK price, for example, for this is £15, and that is for the Legendary Edition. So you save a few pennies. So if you absolutely must have it now, in my opinion, buy the Legendary Edition, whether you've got the standard version you want to upgrade, or you don't have either, and you just want to buy it. Otherwise, if you can wait for a few days, buy it from Amazon, you'll be saving a couple of dollars or pounds or whatever. Anyway, next game. We have Awesome Noughts. This is available for $2.37 for a single version. That would be pounds, or $4.74 if you want to pick up a free pack. On the other hand, if you're paying in dollars, it is $3.39 or $6.78 respectively. Not personally checked this game out, however, it does feature local co-op as well as co-op in general. Now, in my opinion, if you do have friends to play with this game, then definitely pick up the free pack, because you're probably going to be very appreciative. This game, from what I understand, comes alive extremely well when a multiplayer enabled. From what I understand, this game is pretty damn good, and it does score fairly well on both Metacritic. People I know who have played it said it's pretty damn good as well, and from various reviews. So I'd personally say this game is definitely worth the punt if you're interested in this type of title. So for the price, there are certainly much worse deals available. Next up, Eve. So first of all, the base game is $3.24. That would be a Great British Pounds, or $4.98 if you prefer to pay in dollars. Now, this is the Amar Explorer starter pack, and that gives you various help within the game itself, as in various equipment and boosters and stuff like that to just help you along your way inside the MMO. Now, bear in mind that there is also a saving on the subscription itself at the moment. That's up to 27% actually if you're paying in dollars, or 25% if you're paying in pounds. Now, if you're thinking about getting Eve, I can't really tell you that much about it. I've not really personally played it. I know someone who actually plays the game quite extensively and has said that it's an absolutely fantastic MMO experience. The purpose of this, of course, is that you can quite literally build your own empire in space. And the game has been going for quite a long time and has been steadily progressing in terms of players and so on. Obviously, some people are extremely skilled now and so on. The one thing I will point out is this game is a huge time sink, much like most MMOs. The reason I didn't get into it, as my personal story, is I was playing WoW at the time, and so I could only play one time sink. Nevertheless, I think this game will probably appeal to quite a few people, and it could well be worth it. I'm just not particularly sure that I agree with buying the starter pack. I'm not so certain that it's something that maybe you guys would be interested in. Anyway, my personal opinion, of course. Next up, we have Civilization 5. The standard version of the game is $7.49. That would be US dollars or £5. There is DLC available as well, which offers some pretty cool stuff, and that is available at a variety of prices, but it's 75% off for all. This game scores extremely well and is a turn-based real-time strategy. And as you may guess, this game is one of the premier titles. Now, I'm not going to bother to speak about it too much because right there is a download PC demo. I would recommend this game to anyone who is a fan of turn-based or strategy games generally, but I would not wax lyrically about this one. Check out the demos, see what you think, and if you like it, remember that demo is available. Sorry, this title is going to be available on discount for a while, so check out the demo, see what you think. If you like it, then it's a perfect opportunity to pick this game up, in my personal opinion. You probably won't find that many titles that are better. Grid 2 would be next, and it is available for $17.99 in pounds or $29.99 in dollars. So us Brits get either a really good deal, or Americans get absolutely an awful deal. I suppose it depends on your perspective, that one. It's one of those titles that I personally haven't been interested in, but it does score very well on Metacritic. Unfortunately, there's no demo available for this one. It scores well from any of the websites. It does look quite nice, and it's actually a fairly recent release. It was released in May 28, so it's not the best discount I've ever seen for a big title or anything like that close to launch, but it's certainly not too shabby at all. I would personally recommend, if you're into racing games, maybe check out a couple of videos. I personally haven't tried it out. Not really into racing games myself, as many regular viewers know, but from what I do understand, and from those who I know who have played it, they've really enjoyed it for what it's worth. Train Simulator 2013 is next, and it's available 80% off. That makes it $10.99. or £6.99. So I could honestly say I've not played this at all. I have Googled, done a little bit of research. It scores okay from the few reviews that I managed to find on a quick Google. I can honestly say that I don't really know much about this game. I suppose if you're interested in trains or whatever, railworks and railroads, then you're going to absolutely have a blast. Personally, never been interested in it. I can't tell you much. It scores in the 7 to 8 range in the communities and so forth that have played it. So I guess it must be good and doing what its thing is. But I honestly have absolutely no interest in this title. So sorry, can't be more of help. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition is next. It's available for $3.74. That would be Great British pounds. On the other hand, if you live in America, then you can expect to pay $4.99. This is going to be one of those games where I think it depends on your mindset. It does score very well, it has got a very good opinion, and it is a very, very, very good game. There have been numerous improvements to it, including, of course, much better resolution, better management and so forth of the inventory, as well as various other bits and pieces. However, here's the thing. You may well be in the mindset now that there are a lot of RPGs and so on out there. You may also be in the mindset of, look, this game now is a bit long in the tooth, and so you personally may not get good mileage out of it. In other words, you may prefer a newer title. On the other hand, if you can get past the visuals are not the most dazzling, if you could get past the fact that it is not the most amazing title ever. By the way, there have been new adventures and characters added to this as well as apparently over 400 improvements for the title, as well as multiplayer support as well. Now, as I said, with all of that said, you may be in the mindset that this game is just too old, whatever. I personally don't believe that. I don't think a game is too old. I think this game definitely has a good marketplace and still should thrive, but that's just my personal opinion. So, as I said, if you can overlook the fact it doesn't have the best visuals, if you can overlook the fact that some stuff is still a bit clunky, then in my opinion, this one's a bit easy to understand that it's definitely a purchase. Next up is Metro Last Light. It's also worth noting that Metro 2033 is also on sale here. Metro Last Light is available for £21, or you can pick up the franchise pack, which gets you Metro Last Light, Ranger Mode, as well as a few other bits and pieces for $29.99. You can pick up the Season Pass, although that's not on discount. Finally, Metro 2033 is available for 75% off, or £2.49. Now I'm going to give you guys the price in dollars, because that's only fair. You can get 40% off once again for $29.99. The franchise pack is available for $35.99. The Season Pass gets you absolutely zero off. And finally, Metro 2033 is available for $3.74. Now, I'm going to get straight into this. I would personally, if you've not played Metro before, definitely pick up Metro 2033. End of story. I think it's a really good title. It has a few faults. It is not the most balanced in some areas. It has a few frame rate issues occasionally, even on high-end rigs. But I really like it. I really like the narration throughout the chapter. I really like the graphics. I like the atmosphere. I actually like the way the ammo systems and the weapons handle. It's really different from, say, the Call of Duty military shooter. The weapons actually handle how you would expect, with a lot of weapons that have been improvised and so forth. Even some pump power guns and as air pressure guns. It's kind of cool. But let's talk about Last Light. Now, in my opinion, it is a very good title. In my opinion, it does deserve to sell. There are only a couple of small concerns I have. Firstly, if you've not played Metro 2033, then you might want to play that first to see if you like this game. It is available for, well, a decent amount of time, so, you could probably do both. On the other hand, you could just pick up The Last Light. Now, I do personally believe it is worth buying. I do believe it is worth playing. I only have got a couple of concerns. Firstly, it is only 40% off, which may put some people off. I have heard some people say, you know what, I'm only going to buy games that have very heavy discounts. Second is obviously competing against Skyrim. The last issue I have is that obviously there have been a lot of shooters available. Having said all of that, I still think this game is definitely worth it. It does have a few issues through the title, mostly a couple of bugs. There have been some patches which do help the bugs, but AI on the game can sometimes be a bit ropey. With all of that said, I still think the game's worth buying. Up to you, of course. Monaco is next. It is available on either a single pack or a 4-pack. I'm going to give the dollar prices first. It is available for either $7.44 or $22.34. That would be the single and, once again, the quad pack, respectively. If you're paying in pounds, then you're available for $5.95 or $17.87. So not bad for either the Brits or Americans in terms of the deal this time. Haven't really personally played this game, but it does look pretty cool from what I've heard. It allows you to basically, well, plan your own robberies and so forth. It does score really well, and also has pretty decent scores on Metacritic, which obviously sometimes are the harshest critics, if you excuse the pun. As I said, it is pretty cool. You can actually play it co-op or single player, and the purpose here is you pretty much pull an Ocean's 11. You will figure out the best way to break in, not get caught, and so on. Obviously, graphics are fairly limited. But that's the purpose of the game. If that's ever appealed to you, then I could probably recommend this is the game for you. Trials Evolution Gold Edition is next. It's available for dollar prices, $9.99, and us Brits get an okay deal. It's available for $7.99. It scores fairly well on Metacritic and it's a pretty cool game. The purpose, of course, is that you can perform various acrobatic trials and so forth using, of course, a stunt bike. There is a demo available, and on a title like this, you either gotta really like the handling and so on, or you're not. Personally, I would recommend whenever there's a demo available to try it out. Sure, on most games it doesn't give you a full taster, but it does give you an idea, hey, do I even get on with the gameplay on this game? It is optimized for PC, which is cool. It does give you an in-game editor, so you can actually share tracks and everything else. So, if you're into dirt biking, if you're interested in tricks and trays and Tony Hawk style games or whatever, then you're probably going to like it. If not, then meh. I would still recommend, however, you check out the demo first. So that just about does it for all of the main titles. So lastly, we're going to go into the flash sales. I'm just going to give a quick overview on these because obviously there is a heck of a lot of them, but I'm not going to go too nuts on them. So there are, of course, Fable 3. That's available 75% off, $4.99 or $3.74 depending on dollars or pounds. Obviously dollars slightly more. It's a pretty good game, honestly. I didn't have any major problems with it per se. I just found myself getting a little bit bored. I didn't find it as good as Fable 1 or 2. But I do think it's a pretty cool game. For the price, if you're interested in action RPGs or whatever, then you could certainly do worse. The PC version isn't abysmal or anything like that. Next title, Star Trek, the motion picture. Okay, some people are going to immediately notice, well, isn't that a fairly recent game? And they'll say to me, why is it 75% off or only $4.99? It's available for $4.99 or $7.49, as I said. And I have done a first impressions on this. The problem with this game is that it has a hell of a lot of different sub-games thrown in. It doesn't really seem to know what it wants to be at times. And the biggest problem with this game is that it's a bit of a mess. It just doesn't seem to have a clear understanding of where it wants to go. The writing and so on's not bad. It is just a fairly generic plot in most areas. But having said that, if you are a Star Trek fan, then you could do worse. You could do better, but you could also do worse. I'd recommend checking out the video that we've done. It's fairly lengthy. It gives you an idea of the basic dynamics and the mechanics of the game. Next title, Portal 2. Don't really need to say much more about it. It's available for $3.74 or $4.99. Most people have heard of Portal. Most people know about Portal. If you're into puzzle games, then it's not very difficult to understand to pick this one up. Next one, Rayman Origins, available for 66% off. I think it's the only game today that is available for that price. No, I tell a lie. Awesome noughts. So that's $4.41 if you're paying in pounds. On the other hand, if you're paying in dollars, well, that's $6.79. This game is pretty cool from what I understand. I can't remember if I actually reviewed this. I think I did. Actually, I did review this on RGT, so you guys can check out the video. And there's also a demo available for it as well, which is pretty damn handy, and I'd recommend you check it out. Finally, Bully Scholarship Edition. He says, apparently I need to go back to school to pronounce things today. It's available for $2.49 or $3.74 depending on dollars or pounds. This game originally, I believe, was on the PlayStation 2. It is actually released on even October 2008 on the PC, so it took a while. The graphics are a little bit ropey. From what I understand, it's a fairly okay game. It's by Rockstar, so you might like it. I don't really know it that well, if I'm honest. A friend of mine, actually, who works on this channel, did really like it. He played the PlayStation 2 original, and he said it was pretty cool. Maybe you'll like it. Not sure. it's not a bad price, so if you're a big fan of this type of genre, then who knows. Anyway, I think that just about does it for this particular video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.